CID headquarters in Kiambu and speak to my colleague Rita Tinine. And remember that our top story, one of the stories that we've been following on, is the arrest of David Ndii. Earlier I spoke to my colleague Tobias Chanji in Kwale, and he said that really their whereabouts are still in question. They still remain unclear where exactly he is. But we understand that he could be at the CID headquarters here in Nairobi. We also understand that there is a number of leaders drawn from NASA who've already arrived at the CID headquarters. Let me bring in my colleague Rita Tinine to tell us more. Rita, good morning. What do we know so far? Is it confirmed that David Ndii is indeed at the CID headquarters?
Well, good morning to you, Betty. Since yesterday, information as to the whereabouts of David Ndii have been scanty, but as of now, we understand he is here at the CID headquarters on Kiambu Road. Remember, he was arrested yesterday at the Leopard Beach Resort in Ndii. We understand he was driven from Mombasa to Nairobi overnight and that he is here. Several of his lawyers are already here, but they have not been allowed inside the car behind me, the black car behind me. Several lawyers, Siaya Senator James Orengo is in that car. Edwin Sifuna is there as well as Norman Magaya. We don't know yet why they are being kept outside. They've been here for about 20 minutes. We'll wait and see. Finally, they will be allowed in, but we understand that he will be interrogated. The issue is perhaps he will not, the officers will not start interrogating him until he is in the presence of his lawyers. So maybe the interrogation has not started yet. We cannot confirm whether it has started, but we are informed that he is here after being driven overnight here. The police yet to indicate why they are holding him, but we understand at the hotel in Ndii, the police in their search warrant were looking for a laptop as well as other literature. They did not manage to find that. So the reasons as to why they are still holding him remaining unclear. But word is that he is being held, interrogated over incitement. He is a NASA strategist. Only last week he was named as the head of a 7-man team that will be overseeing the implementation of the People's Assembly. He has also been a severe or harsh critic of the Jubilee administration. This coming just 1 week after Uhuru Kenyatta was sworn in, and also amid plans to swear in NASA leader Uhuru Kenyatta on the 12th of this month. So during the day we'll be expecting to have more information as to why he was arrested, as to why he's being held or interrogated. Remember, according to the law, the police cannot hold him for more than 24 hours without producing him in court. That 24 hours will lapse later on this evening, about 10 in the evening. That is when he was, police got to the Leopard Beach Resort in Ndii. So we'll wait and see whether they will be releasing him, whether they will go to court to ask for more time if they will not have finished interrogating him. But he cannot be held for more than 24 hours. So if the police will not have found anything to charge him with, they will have the option of arresting him or going to court to ask for more time to hold him. As I mentioned, his lawyers yet to be allowed in. They have not spoken to us yet. They are saying they also have no information yet, so they cannot speak to us until they get into the CID headquarters where he's being held at the Ndii resort, Leopard Beach Resort. He was in the presence of his wife. About 4 officers then searched his room, accompanied by the Leopard Beach Resort's head of security. But as I mentioned, they were not able to find anything. So Betty will just camp here until we can find out what is going on, why he was arrested, why he's being held, and if there are any charges that the police are intending to prefer against him. Betty.
All right, Rita, and I'm sure you meant NASA leader Raila Odinga there. But Rita, before I let you go, earlier I spoke to our colleague Tobias Chanji, who mentioned that you know the charge could be over incitement, like you mentioned. Is this on social media? Because he's also very strong on, you know, the kind of tweets that David Ndii has. Really, like you mentioned, a harsh critic of the government. So really, is it incitement on social media, or what exactly is it? Is it clear yet?
It is not clear yet, but as you mentioned, there may be on social media, the tweets that he puts on Twitter, and as I mentioned, they were looking for some literature. We don't know yet whether there were speeches, whether it is anything he has written, whether it is information that perhaps he comes up with and transfers to those who will be implementing the People's Assembly. We can only wait to have that confirmation. Perhaps if he will be released today, we can have a word with him, hear exactly what he has gone through since last night and what the police were exactly looking for. That laptop that they were looking for yesterday in the search warrant, that piece of literature, we don't know yet what it is, but he might be able to give us some more information as well as the lawyers, even if he's not released today. If the lawyers get access to him, perhaps when they come out, we'll also be able to talk to them. I mentioned James Orengo, Edwin Sifuna, Norman Magaya. They are in the car behind me. They also don't know why they are not being allowed in just yet. We'll wait, maybe in the next few minutes or hours, they will have access to their client inside the CID headquarters. Betty.
All right, Rita Tinina there reporting from the CID headquarters. Like she mentioned there, it is confirmed that David Ndii is being held there. Remember that up until this morning, it was not clear where his whereabouts were, but right now he is at the CID headquarters. All right, so we want to take a short break, but we're coming back to continue with our conversation and to wrap it up. But gentlemen, your comment on David Ndii, anything to do with the People's Assembly, or is it incitement? Interesting times, really. Kira, I don't know what you have to say about that.
David Ndii is a friend of mine, so I might be biased.
You might be biased.
But let me say this. My own perception of whatever the NASA are doing, if they want to bring it to within the law, they must dovetail into Article 257, which is about referendum. Whatever they want to do, if they want to involve the people, they must go that route. Anything other than Article 257 is criminal, and they will answer for it. But David is smart enough in his head to know where the line is. But if he comes to hear this, pole sana bwana. There is a government in place now, not before.
Vincent,
I also
briefly
worked with David Ndii at Transparency International. I think knowing the political time we operate in, it will be very critical for the government because, and specifically the police service, we are a country, according to Article 10, that is governed by the rule of law, not rule by law. There is a difference. So it will be important to ensure that communication is kept flowing. And the advantage of the responsible departments, if it's the police community,